I wanna be rich. How'd that song go? That's what it said, right? Today we're going to be talking about letting yourself be rich. So when you first hear that, let yourself be rich. And we're doing this whole series, right? Let yourself be happy. Let yourself be healthy. Let yourself be rich. Let yourself be beautiful. Let yourself be loved. And this all stemmed from a video that I did 11 years ago called Let Yourself Be Skinny, which went viral, did a huge thing. We thought, you know what? There's something here. So when you hear let yourself be rich, what's the first thing that comes up for you? Is it like, oh my gosh, terrible? Like, yeah, show me the money. Come on. How can I let myself be rich? Let myself be rich. It feels like this. Well, of course I want to be rich. Of course I can let myself be rich. Or does it? Is there a piece of you inside that's like, yeah, but I mean, how rich? How rich are we talking about here? And my intention inside of this video is for you to really leave with a couple of really powerful things. One, what is your definition of rich? Because it's so important. It's so easy to get into this spiral and attachment in our lives of, okay, that's what it means. That's what it means. This person's rich and they like this or they want this. That means I have to want this. And no, your definition of rich and what ways resistance are stopping you from allowing yourself to be rich. So I want to start off by saying rich is not just, and I'll talk about that a little bit more as well, an amount of money in the bank. It's not okay if you might know millionaires, multimillionaires, billionaires that although the money's there, they don't feel rich, right? They don't experience and express a feeling of richness. They might still be operating actually in a feeling of scarcity, not enoughness, right? We all know these people. You might also know someone who has, $100, couple thousand, whatever, right? The amount doesn't matter. Less than that, okay? Less than that. And they feel rich and they experience riches and wealth. It's not dependent on a certain amount of money. And I would kind of a little bit say it's not dependent on money. And yet it is. Here's what I mean. Inside of this physical world, inside of this context of the physical world, money is an exchange that we all utilize. We can't get away from it. We can't pretend it's not here, it's not real. We don't barter with goats anymore, right? We utilize money as a form of exchange. And a lot of us consciously, unconsciously have a level of resistance inside around, we all do, I believe, around money in some way and every new level. You may have done so much work, personal growth, conversation, depth inside of your own money story. For me, this is a conversation that never ends because there is always the next level. There is always more. Not from a state of I'm not grateful for what I have. Not from a state of I am not content. There has to be more. There has to be more. From this beautiful, graceful and grateful and organic space, of course there's more. And I'm going to grow into that next level, that next expression of my more. I want to start with a gorgeous quote, actually, that I'm going to read by Wallace Waddle. So I'm going to share with you 3 of my favorite books at the end here that I believe really support this rich experience in life, rich from a money perspective, okay? This is what Wallace Waddle says. I love this so much. The purpose of nature is the advancement and unfolding of life, and everyone should have all that can contribute to the power, elegance, beauty, and richness of life. Wallace Waddle. I love this so much. When you feel into, for yourself, being rich, just as we started this conversation together, what inside of you resists being rich? Is there a place inside of you that's afraid of being rich? That you'll be seen as greedy or selfish? Or perhaps the fear that if you allow an amount of money in, what if you lose it? And the idea inside that the loss would be so much more powerful than ever having it. So maybe unconsciously you're blocking and resisting money from coming into your life because you're afraid of loss. I know for me, my great-great-grandfather was very wealthy. My mom's grandfather had a lot of money, servants, the whole thing, and lost all of that in the stock market crash. And I remember hearing this story when I was little, and unconsciously, an energy, a belief, a perception, an illusion came into me of like, oh my gosh, like I don't want to lose. I don't want to lose that much. And so unconsciously having a block around, okay, well, I'm not going to allow that much in because the pain of losing that would be too much. So that might be something that you have experienced or are experiencing. And I would say this conversation with money, with wealth, with allowing physical money in, there's a feeling of richness, there's a feeling of abundance, and there's an actual allowing of the money into our lives and to not make it bad. We're not saying that the only way for us to be happy, right? We did our Let Yourself Be Happy video. We're not the only reason to be happy or only way we can be happy is to have a certain amount of money. We know that a certain amount of money does not make us happy, and yet it can be a reflection of the experience, the opportunity, the expression of who we are in the world. And why limit that? Logically, it sounds crazy. Why would we limit that? Well, if we have people in our lives that have told us money is not good, that money is evil, that people who have money are bad, that they're selfish, that they're not spiritual, these tiny little things can come into us that say, okay, look, I don't want to be that person. I want to be seen as good. I want to be seen as loving. I want to be seen as caring. And I'm afraid that if I allow money in, unlimited amounts of money, because this is fun to play with, right? These little plateaus that we go into where we're like, okay, this amount of money is safe, but that amount of money, oh my gosh, who needs that amount of money? Who needs that? This is something that I find so extraordinary. Just even scrolling, right, through Instagram or Facebook, you see somebody beautiful, like Demi Moore, for example, right? She's hot in the news right now, and she's 61 and she's looking gorgeous and expressing herself, and it's just, and like 90% of the comments are, well, if I had her money. So that kind of fear of projection can be something that can stop us as well from allowing money into our lives, from allowing ourselves to be rich. We interrupt our regularly scheduled program with a little message. You wanna be rich? This is the perfect time for me to share with you a program that I created a few years ago called Femme Riche. Inside of Femme Riche, we activate the quadrants of health, wealth, beauty, and love. This is so important for us as women. So many of us, especially as women, buy into the illusion that if we are going to allow large amounts of money into our lives, that there's got to be some sacrifice, that there's got to be some price to pay, that we're going to lose a loved one, that we're going to lose spending time with those we love, that we might sacrifice our health. These illusions that actually stop us and limit us from experiencing the level of richness, the level of wealth that we truly desire. Inside of FemmeRiche, this is the only 10-week program to support women in activating these quadrants at the highest level possible. You'll move through a proprietary process that I created utilizing the femme types, the indie, the Frenchie, and the New Yorker to support yourself in letting go of any limitation, any misunderstanding you might have about the level of wealth that's available to you inside of this lifetime. We have a mantra inside of FemmeRiche called plenty of time, plenty of money. And I want to share with you that if you are feeling short on time or money, it is because you are not allowing yourself to prioritize your time and your money in a way that's really reflective of your values. In order to live a rich life, in order to allow yourself to be rich, you really need to be clear on what it is you value in your life. Otherwise, you're going to end up chasing, and no matter how much money you create, you will never feel fulfilled. So inside of FemmeRiche, and again, so many women have taken this program, and every single one of them has shared an increased receiving of health, wealth, beauty, and love in their lives. You can see all of that here. So is it time for you to live your FemmeRiche lifestyle? And since you're here with me right now, watching the Let Yourself Be Rich video, we have a special opportunity for you to save on our FemmeRiche program. So this is an over 10% savings. You can find all of the details below if you would like to join us inside of FemmeRiche and activate the quadrants of health, wealth, beauty, and love. And now, back to our video. The first thing that I want you to really consider are what are those hidden things inside that you're not aware of that are stopping you from experiencing and living into your rich life. Every time we go to the next level, I believe we need to revisit this conversation. In the beginning of my business, it was like, oh my gosh, imagine if I could create an additional $2,000 a month. Oh my gosh. And then imagine 5,000. That was like, oh. And as we grow and as we expand, we create a new level of comfortability with that energetic frequency of that number. And then it became, What about 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 100, right? This is a beautiful thing. This doesn't mean, and this is where the ego comes in, oh my gosh, you selfish thing. You weren't satisfied with $2,000. You need 100. That is not what I'm talking about. And yet that's where the ego can go and stop us. It's not about not being satisfied, not being grateful. It's about a natural evolution of more. That's okay. That's a beautiful thing. If we believe that we are on a limit, if we believe that we are powerful, if we believe that we are souls having a human experience, why not allow the fullness of the experience in all ways without making ourselves wrong, without making ourselves bad? So again, first thing, where are you? Where have you resisted the opportunity to be rich? Where have you inside of yourself judged that being rich is wrong? The second thing that I want to bring forward that's so important, once you've looked at and evaluated, like where inside am I blocking myself from being rich, is defining what does being rich mean to you. Now, you may have an idea of an amount of money that it feels like that's rich, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Make sure it's your definition. The identity. What is the identity of someone who is rich through your eyes? This is really important. For some people, having a beautiful car gives them the experience of being rich. Other people don't care about a car. Right? It might be taking a luxurious vacation. It might be a 5-star hotel. It might be flying first class. It might be working from anywhere in the world. It might be not requiring work. Like, what is your definition of rich? Have it be really unique to you. If you could feel into what is my definition of being rich, what is that for you? It's a really important conversation to have. So one of the things that we have a tendency to do around this conversation inside is say we make a decision. Okay, I want to be rich, but then feeling this distance inside of, but I'm not there yet. Right? I have to do this or do this. Not giving ourselves the opportunity to feel rich now. And this is where really time collapses for us in a really beautiful way. Gifting yourself the opportunity to experience what it feels like to be rich for you on a daily basis. This is a portal for more money to come into your life. Feel into the frequency and energy of what it feels like for you to be rich. What does it feel like in your body? And what are the experiences that reflect that feeling to you? Now, again, the mind goes into, well, I can't, today go out and buy the first class airfare or buy the $20,000 handbag or whatever it might be that the experience is. So backing it into, well, what experience is right here for me right now that I can allow? Simple things that support the portal frequency and energy of rich right now. So here's some ideas, obviously not all inclusive, and obviously there are many other, and they're going to be individual to you. Little things, using cloth napkin, candlelight for breakfast, right? Going to beautiful places where maybe you're not going to stay in that 5-star hotel, but maybe you go to the bar and you get a gorgeous drink, right? Maybe you walk around the ground. These kind of things that put you in the environment that reflect to you that level of wealth. Things also that don't cost any money. Things like prayer and meditation. These feel really rich. Feeling into your unlimited power and potential on a daily basis. Putting yourself in the vibration and frequency of rich consistently. Not waiting. Understanding that as you are in that energy, you are beautifully attracting. You're a portal for money. The other thing that's really important that I found, any kind of conversation that's based in scarcity, any kind of energy, any kind of group of people that are consistently vibrating in an energy of toxicity, scarcity, like remove that from your life as quickly as possible. We've all heard this so many times that you are like the average of the 5 people that you hang out with. It has to not only to do with energy, attitude, positivity, but also with your wealth. So looking at when you're going to these beautiful places, these hotels or networking, that you allow yourself to be with, hang out with people who are in that kind of expression of wealth that you want to be in. Being really aware of that. It's a really beautiful thing to allow ourselves to see yourself as, yes, of course. Of course, that's me. Of course, that's me. So there are 3 things that I wanted to leave you with inside of this video. One is, in what way are you holding yourself back from being rich? Go into the judgments, any kind of fears, any kind of withholding inside of that. And then really identifying for yourself, what is the identity of someone who is rich? What is your definition of rich? Really important. And then the final thing is living into your rich life now. Not waiting for someday, not waiting for the thing, living into your rich life now. If you've loved this, subscribe. If you love this and if you want more, subscribe below. The 3 books that I would recommend are The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace Wattles. Of course, oldie but so goodie. Science of Getting Rich is old too. Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill. We've all heard of this. And then also, one that you probably haven't heard of is called Kid His Own. And I'll put these in below in the notes. Beautiful, beautiful book. Love this. And if you want to take the conversation deeper, we have a gorgeous Facebook group called Women Living Fully. We're going to deepen the conversation. And if you want to be around other women who are committed to this, if you're feeling like some of the people in your life are more in that state of scarcity or worry or not enoughness or limiting the amount of wealth, and you want to be in a community where women are really devoted to, yes, right? All the money, all the beauty, all the health, all the love, then Women Living Fully is that place. I'm Tara Marino with Elegant Femme, and let yourself be rich.